Okay, here's our how-to on factor trees or prime factorization. If you remember, factors are numbers that we multiply. And prime factorization is that we need to only have prime numbers that we multiply. So, remember, it looks like a tree. So our number is kind of like the star or the angel on top of the tree. So let's start with the number 70. Actually, 72. Okay, so that goes to the top. So the first thing we want to ask ourselves is what times what is 72? What are the factors of 72? And it doesn't matter which factors I pick, I just pick 2. So I'm going to pick, and it's not 7 and 2, it's 72. I'm going to go with 8 times 9. So now I'm going to ask myself about these numbers, 8 and 9. Is 8 prime? And again, look at our chart of prime numbers and composite numbers. No, it's not, so then I have to keep factoring. What are the factors of 8? 4 and 2. Is 4 prime? No. Is 2 prime? Yes, so I'm going to circle it. I just circle it so that I'm done. 4, I have to keep factoring, which is 2 and 2. And I'm going to circle those. Is 9 prime? No, it's not. So then I'm going to factor it. 9 is 3 times 3. Is 3 prime? Yes. So I'm going to circle those. And then I'm going to create a number sentence using all the numbers that I circled. So I should have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And when I figure this out, I'm going to say 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And then 3 times 3 is 9. And then 8 times 9 equals 72. Now remember, when we were doing this in class, we don't have to pick the same number as somebody else. We can pick different numbers. So for example, let's factor 100. So 100, I'm going to do it 2 different ways. I'm going to do it here and here. Okay, so the first time I'm doing 100 is 10 times 10. Is 10 a prime number? No, it is not. So that means we have to factor more. 10 times 10. It's not 5 and 5. That's adding. The factors of 10 is 5 and 2. And we don't want to use 10 and 1 because I'm going to have to factor 10 again. And then 5 and 2. 5 is prime and 2 is prime. So I remember number sentence. 5 times 2 times 5 times 2. I could have also factored 100 as 50 and 2. I would have circled 2 for being prime. 50 I could say is 10 and 5. Circle the 5, and then 10 is 5 and 2. And I circle the 5 and the 2, and then I would have 5 times 2 times 5 times 2, which is the same number on both sides. So again, it doesn't matter which factors you start with because you're always going down to all of the prime numbers. Now, sometimes part of our factor tree might be a little bit lopsided. So, for example, if I started with 132, the factors of 132 are 12 and 11. But now 11's prime, so I'm going to circle it. But I have to keep going with 12. And 12 I could put 6 and 2, or I could put 4 and 3. I'm going to put 4 and 3. And then 3 is prime, and then 4 is 2 and 2. So one side of my tree can keep going. And again, if we did this in class, I'll just do it like this. Remember, we did this. And then we're just going to put in the trunk our factors. You don't have to do that. I was just doing it. Okay. So that is how you factor.